that's not good. There I am. Oh, now you can just see loads of me. That's nice. Alright, let me... Uh-huh. Hello! Oh, that's not good. Oh, no, I can hear myself. Bloody brilliant that is. Alright, cool. I don't even know. I don't even know. I'm I loaded this stream up because I'm just gonna crash out. That's the plan. Is I'm just gonna crash out. That is, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna eat my hula hoops and we're gonna talk about Modulo and I have a lot of things to say and I'm gonna crash out. Can you hear me eating these? Oh no, whatever. I don't care. Okay. I have proof infinity doesn't stop subatomic stuff, by the way. I have proof. Someone said that in chat. So let's do that as a nice little warm-up, okay? I have proof. Just let me find it. No, sorry. Infinity does stop subatomic stuff. My bad. I have proof that it does stop. So it will stop light, it will stop lightning, it will stop electricity and all that. People take that, like, statement, the whole, like, on an atomic level, well, like, we blew that shit way out of proportion. Way out of proportion. Let me find it. Let me find it. I'm looking for a very specific page. That, because it doesn't have words on it, and because there are more hype moments, a lot of people tend to forget. Because, you know, JJK fans don't actually, like, pay attention to their own manga. But, I gotta find it first. What the hell? Where is it? Oh, I got it. Nice. Right, now I have to change back. Damn it. Okay. Oh, look at that. Some Kagurabachi, hell yeah. Alright. First of all, just to clear this up. Right. Electricity, yeah? We all know how electricity works. Or lightning, whatever. New Age lightning. Alright. It's a subatomic, it's the flow of electrons, which are a subatomic force, yeah? Right. Big lightning. Gojo, literally, just his arm's already been cut from Maharaga. He just walks into it without a care in the world, and nothing happens. Do you know why? Because infinity. Bam. Enough of this subatomic bullshit. Right. Should we get to the point? Jesus Christ, why are there so many people here? Oh, we really care about Modulo this week, huh? Why is, like... No. Guys, there's too much pressure. Can we go back to having 5 viewers, please? Please! Can't do it, alright. I don't even know how to start, I just wanted to crash out on stream over, like, giga lack of reading comprehension from mainly just Twitter people, to be honest. I'll probably just spend too much time on that app. Like, most of the time, realistically in JJK, like, a good, like, at least 80% of the people do actually read the series, but there's the vocal minority, the dumbasses on Twitter who are just like, you know, they just make stuff up. Which is fine, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But I am well within my right to have a fucking generational crash out over it. Why is my chat smaller now? Well, I can't even see my own chat. That's nice. Oh, we good? The 5th grader boasts his reading ability in front of 3rd graders. Yeah, to be honest, that's pretty accurate. Alright, so, obviously spoilers. If you've clicked on this stream, you know there's gonna be spoilers, alright? So, oh yeah, Kyle, what's up, bro? Raided during the crash out? You can do that on YouTube now? You can do that? Wait, that's sick. Or you just, like, did you just tell them all to just go over here? Or whatever, welcome, lovely, Kaio viewers and Kaio himself. So, I'm gonna make a video about this, because a lot of people in the JJK fandom, they struggle with the idea of not objectivity, that's not the right word. They struggle with the idea of not being a dumbass. That's it, right? So, I read the chapter and I was like, oh yeah, we are definitely going for this Yuji over Gojo and Sukuna thing. He has definitely surpassed them, right? Gojo was not chatting shit. That new gen is taken over. Hell yeah. Alright? We all know I've been a big fan of, like, the whole Yuta and Yuji especially. I would have the others do it, but it's quite hard to, like, put Hikari... Like, even when you think of full potential, it's hard to put people like Hikari and Todo and even Maki above Gojo and Sukuna. But Yuta and Yuji, they were the two that I was like, yes. Yes. 100% it's even if it has to be headcanon forever. Alright? Yeah, no, I've read the TCB. Oh, thank you for the $5 Canadian, caffeinated nights. Thank you very much. Lightning is about 90% of the speed of light, so yeah. I mean, it's also just, yeah, it's a subatomic force as well. Where was I? Also, yeah, no, wait, what the fuck? What am I talking about? It's not 90% the speed of light, the hell? Yes, it's like nothing. Lightning speed is like 200,000 meters per second, and speed of light is like 300 something millimeters per second. Lightning speed is like nowhere close to light speed. Yo, Daffy! Oh, with the $10, thank you very much, man. Got my volume off because I don't want to get spoiled. But wait, what does that even mean? Got my volume off because I don't want to get spoiled, but your work ethic is insane, brother. Love you and keep doing what you're doing. Daffy, you sent me that message like we don't talk almost daily, bro. I love you, man. Thank you very much. And another $5 from Issa Kaizen. That's a hell of a name. I'm doing this for Kaio and Flame. Big up Kaio and Flame, they're the goats. I also don't read the manga. I just look at the pictures. Much easier. So you're like 90% 90% of the fandom then. Nice. Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, so basically, right? What's happened in this chapter is Yuji's come out here and he's doing crazy things. Alright? So I'm like, okay, cool. Gege's realized that we all want to see it. We want to see the Yuji surpass Gojo and Sukuna thing. Again, I would put all the new gen up there, but, you know, it's hard to get Hikari up there. So, Yuji and Yuta in their prime, which obviously Yuji is in because he's immortal and young. Surpass Gojo and Sukuna, I'm all for it. Alright? And it seems like Gege is all for it too, which we were a bit nervous about whether it was actually doable, but it's happening. Alright? It's happening. So, basically my point is, I'm all for it. Alright? Big Yuji glazer. Big Yuta glazer. We know this, okay? W voice crack. Leave me alone. I've been sick all week. Right. However. This is what I felt like has happened this chapter, okay? I still think we have the intention of having him above Gojo and Sukuna. But what I feel like has happened this chapter is we've cheated. We're cheating. We're cheating. I need him up there. But I feel like a lot of people read the chapter and they saw what happened, didn't actually, like, digest it properly. And especially because it's leaks as well, man. Leaks are so damaging. I hate leaks. But I feel like a lot of people saw it as, like, big dismantle. Oh my god, it clears well cut and slash. It clears hollow purple. Shut up. Like, bruh, it was so quick. It was instant, bro. The second the panel dropped, it was like he's in a league of his own. It's never gonna be topped. Alright, let's relax. Let's relax. But obviously, when I voiced my opinion about that, I got hit with the, you're a Yuji hater, you can't handle the fact, and obviously these are people that don't know me, right? You're a Yuji hater, you can't handle the fact he's better than your glorious King Gojo or Sukuna. And I was like, right, first of all, Gojo and Sukuna are not like the be-all and end-all for me. That's Yuta, obviously. And then probably Yuji. Like, they're on a pretty similar level for me. I love them both. But these people were like, no, cope. And I was like, I'll give them logic and reasoning. I'm like, look, I know Yuji's going to be stronger than Gojo and Sukuna. I know that's what we're doing and I want it. But I want it to feel earned. I don't want to feel like we have to fucking jump through hoops to get there. Do you know what I mean? Because what happened is like, Yuji did the dismantle thing, and now we're saying, Ice Purple level, he took out the city! Motherfucker, what city? He did, I'll get to that. But, and they're like, oh, he caused an explosion on, like, this level, so it's, like, equal to like, it's like a much bigger version of Fuga Explosion. Fuga Explosion is an explosion. It is an explosion caused only by Sukuna's cursed energy. This one, maybe not so much, okay? It looks big, but obviously JJK fans forget the words, forget everything else that happens in the chapter. Big dismantle, big blast on the screen. He's Goku level. Right? He clears fiction. And your dog. He comes out of the manga and beats you up in real life. That's how strong he is, just because of this one panel. Bro, relax. Let's do this properly. I want it to feel earned, alright? What I feel like a lot of the not the Yuji fans, the crazy Yuji fans, the Lulu Yuji fans. I feel like what they did, and this is what I really don't want, and obviously when I try and like explain that I do want Yuji to be stronger, but I want to get the actual proof before we start, you know, like saying stuff, immediately they just shut it down. They don't read they don't counter what I say, they don't like acknowledge what I say, they just say, cope. Do you know what I mean? It's very cop out. But the thing is, right, here's the thing. Wait. He's British, give him a break. Yeah, I don't expect chat to agree with it either. But... Oh, Allons my logical king. I'm also a Yuji fan. Okay, Coin. Big up Coin, he knows what's up. Alright, so... This is my problem. The reason that I have an issue with us concluding that Yuji is in a tier of his own right now is because I want it to be... I want it to be real. I don't want it to feel cheap or like... Bro, that's how I said it to Shiny the other day, okay? Me and someone else, we've got to run a 500-meter race, right? Whoever, we know how races work, whoever crosses the finish line first wins. They win the race. And they are declared the fastest, okay? So, ready, get set, go. We start running. I pull out a Glock, I shoot the other guy in the head, and then I cross the finish line with a light jog. Technically, I won. I crossed the finish line. I did technically win, but I blatantly, like it was a... Do I feel like I really earned that? Do I feel like I deserved it? Or do I feel like I cheated the system by shooting the guy in the head? It's like when you cheat... That was a very extreme example. It's like when you cheat on an exam, right? And then you get a decent grade, and it's like, oh, hell yeah, I smashed that test. But then you have that little feeling inside, and it's like, okay, but did I actually do it, or did I just blatantly cheat? Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay... You achieve the goal of, you know, passing the test, but you cheated to get there. It feels cheap, right? It feels cheap. You don't feel like you've earned it, right? I want to feel like Yuji, like, being the strongest is earned. That is what I want. I don't... Enough of this... Bro, listen, agenda is agenda. I get it, alright? I understand agenda's fun. But agenda makes people way too willing to take the most, like, tiny little things and blow them as big out of proportion as they can to match their agenda. I don't fuck with that. Myself. You guys can do it. I'm like, I don't have a problem with you guys doing it. I'm just like, when it comes to my actual appreciation of the story, fuck agenda. I want the real stuff. Alright? So, I agree that Yuji is gonna be stronger than Gojo and Sukuna. But the way people be talking about this big dismantle like it's the be-all and end-all for JJK. Oh my days, bro. This is... We're cheating. We're shooting the guy in the head. We're cheating on the test paper. Alright? It's... No. Relax. I'm not saying we're wrong. I'm saying this isn't the way... This isn't the proof that we want. Okay? Alright, that's it. Alright, so... Can we agree that Yuji black flashes at will, though? Yeah, I mean, obviously we need to wait for, like... Proof? But, like, yes, I agree that's probably the intention here, is that he can black flash at will. I don't like that, personally. I think that doesn't really make any sense, and it's just a bit boring. Kind of, I don't know. That's my personal preference. I think he can black flash at will. I don't like that he can do that at all. But, so, anyway. What was I gonna say? I'm gonna have to pull up... I don't want to pull up the leaks panel. Oh, you guys have read the chapter. I don't need to pull it up. You know what I'm talking about. Alright. So, we go... Okay, I say we go. Twitter. Okay, I say it's Twitter, mainly. Twitter goes, Look at that big Yuji dismantle. It took out the city and caused an explosion. Fuga level, like, but like way bigger. Alright, listen, yeah. I went on Twitter and I said to these people, I was like, look. First of all, you can see from multiple angles before the explosion happens that all the cursed spirits are flying above any of the buildings in the city. Okay? If you look at the Tsurugi Maru POV, so just before they each, you know, do their attacks. I'll get on to who attacks them a bit later, but when they do their attacks, they're basically stood upside down on... It's really cool, by the way. People overlook these things because they're busy with the agenda stuff, but like, bro, Maru, like, did some green bullshit, made the, like, the trees go up, and then they're standing upside down with the city below them because of Maru's technique. And you can see all of the cursed spirits are way above the skyline of the city. They're above the buildings, alright? Cool. Yuji Yuji and whoever, I think it's obvious. I think it's very obviously Tsurugi, but Yuji and Yuji or Dabura, whatever. Okay. Fires dismantle. Now, what's Yuji? We see the dismantle hit the curses. Oh, actually, that's probably from the other one. But still, the point is it hits the curses. That's the goal. Yuji says it outright. His goal is to destroy the curses. All right, not unnecessarily annihilate the city when the curses are flying above it. All right. So listen, this is what we're doing here. Is we've gone, Yuji's taken out the city and caused a massive explosion. Bruv, there's a page where we see the dismantle fly over the buildings, and each cursed spirit that gets impacted by it explodes. Like in a... And it happens in JJK too, like cursed spirits kind of, when they are hit hard, they sort of just blow up, not like in fire, but they sort of just erupt, right? And we're talking, like, insane numbers. We're talking, like full Kenjaku supply level cursed spirits here, right? We're talking... probably hundreds of thousands. I'd say lowball tens of thousands, highball millions. Alright? That's a lot. That's a lot of cursed energy. That's a lot of blood. That's a lot of guts. Alright? So what happens? You've got a load of cursed spirits. Big loot. Oh, another $10 from Isekaizen again. Yeah. I disagree with you. Did you see the explosion? The size of the dismantle? Not even Sukuna can manage that. We're saying the same thing! Did you see how big it was? Did you see the explosion? Bruv. So, the explosion thing. First of all, since when the dismantles... What do we mean by explosion? When people say explosion, what do they mean? Because, like, I'd say it's more of a... I'd say the explosion is the result of taking out hundreds of thousands of cursed spirits all at once. The city has been unaffected. In nowhere in the whole chapter do we see a single building actually be destroyed by this, by the way. Like, even when you look at, like, compare the Sukuna Fuga and Shinjuku compared to how they've presented this eruption, it, like, you can see, like, you don't see any buildings actually, because why would Yuji just annihilate, like, a whole, like, do you know, why? The cursed spirits aren't there. We see where the cursed spirits are. They're above the city. So the city, I guarantee you, we're gonna, next chapter or somewhere in the... Bro, the city's gonna be fine. And not from Dabura, obviously. He's fucking shit up. But, for Yuji, alright, that dismantle, we're not gonna see, like, the entire country's gone to shit. Or the entirety of Tokyo is probably more accurate. I don't understand what people mean by explosion. Like, what does that mean? You think it's hit the curses... and then it's caused them to explode with, like, Yuji's own cursed energy explosion? It was like, what's happened is he's taken out a load of cursed spirits at once with a big dismantle, which is very impressive. It's a huge dismantle. So, like, destructive capability-wise, Yuji's top 1, easily. That's fine. Alright? But it says nothing AP-wise because they're, like, grade 3, grade 4 curses. Do you know what I mean? They're like grade 3s, they're grade 4s, confirmed. Like... maybe grade 2 if we're generous, like... And they're above the city, so city's not been impacted. We see them individually exploding. There's a panel where we see the slice go over the city, and it hits them, and they explode individually, and it creates a big eruption. Right? Which is like... are we comparing that... like... I don't understand the big equals better mindset of, like, okay, yes, destructive capability-wise, Yuji, like, clears. I agree. But like... totally random, but someone tell me what this accent is? I'm Australian, apparently. I'm not Australian, I'm from the UK. The chat, I'll read chat in a second anyway, so I just need to finish my rant or it's never going to come out. Sukuna, alright, he has a set range, airtight domain, okay? And he coats all the rubble with thermobaric cursed energy, or like explosive cursed energy. So it's all his doing. And he pulls out fire arrow, bam! Big explosion. Cool? Nice. Much smaller than this, it's like tiny, it's like 200 meters, 140 meters in the manga, realistically. And then it becomes a thing of like, that's a big thermobaric explosion of heat and explosive cursed energy. But like, I'm trying to think of a good analogy for this. Angry British man yapping about something. You got the British teeth at least. Hey! No, you haven't seen enough British teeth if you think mine are bad. They're relatively okay. Another $5 from... Oh, this is Kenjaku upscale. Thank you, Batman. Anyway, like I said, I'll read through all the chat messages in a second. Well, not all of them, but still. So, yeah. Big explosion. Alright? I'm not trying to downplay the feat. I'm trying to make sure we don't overplay the feat. Because I'm seeing a lot on Twitter. I'm seeing like, look at that, Yuji destroyed the whole city. And look at the size of the explosion. Bruv, if I haul up a big rock, alright, and I drop it in the ocean, and it causes like this big, it's probably not my best analogy, this big like, you know when you drop like a big rock in like water and it just goes like that? Like, is that me? Have I done that? Is that an explosion? Do I call that an explosion? I caused this explosion and I throw a pebble in the pond. This is a horrific analogy. I'm not doing a good job like convincing you guys here. I can tell by that. The point is, it's insanely impressive. It's an impressive feat of unbelievable skill, unbelievable cursed energy, and unbelievable like range and destructive capability. But where's this he destroyed the city thing coming from? Because he didn't. He didn't do it. You are immensely downplaying the feat, bro. But what feat? What feat are we talking about, though? Him destroying the city, which didn't happen? Or him doing big dismantle? Because the big dismantle is insane. That's every bit as good as everyone says it is. But what does it actually tell us about, like, when people say, like, oh, it's better than World Cutting Slash? Based off what? It took out a load of grade 3 and 4 curses. Oh yeah, but I feel like a lot of people disagree with me on this one, which is fine. That's why I wanted to stream, so I could rant angrily about it. But, right, let me read chat, but I think I've made my point as clear as I can. I'm gonna scroll back up and have a look. Yuji pulls out like 5 different things we haven't seen. Do just top 1. Yes. Thank you, Kaio. That is so much better. Alright, the Yuji blood manipulation, as much as I don't like the fact that we've chosen to make it a thing, the fact that he can supposedly Black Flash at will, insane feats of skill. Making a dismantle that big, and like even just the ability to aim it and take them all out. Insane feats of skill. These are top 1 feats of skill. Insane. That's the bit that I wish people were talking about instead of, oh my god, Yuji took out the city! What the hell? Yes, exactly. The blood manipulation and the way he uses like chainsaw dismantle like Sukuna does, and like his even just the fact that we now have confirmation that his blood is poisonous, and what else did he do? Let me think. I think that's all we've seen so far, right? Is piercing blood, poison, black flash, dismantle, right? I didn't miss anything? Cool. Yeah, I agree. Like that is top 1 behavior. That is a level of control and accuracy and skill that is like realistically. This is why I don't like the Black Flash thing, because if Black Flash was just about like controlling cursed energy, because obviously it's explained as is when the lag between cursed energy and actual impact is pretty much non-existent. It's like a millionth of a second or something. So if that was what just causes black flashes to happen all the time, right? If that was the thing, is that a black flash happens when there's no lag, alright? If that was true, then absolutely I'd love it. I think it'd be great. I think it would show that Yuji has, like, the best cursed energy control in the verse. My problem with it is that Gojo, with his 6 eyes, says if that was the only thing that determined the black flash. What am I being spammed with? Allons-Y, look. No, I'm 22, nearly. I'm 21. Cursed energy control like Zetsu. Eh? From Naruto? But, yeah, that's the thing with the black flash thing is, like, if it was just that, cool, but Gojo sits there with his 6 eyes and he says, well, if it was just that, I'd be able to do it at will. Easily. And he goes, there has to be other factors, something, it's like, temperature, and he lists factors that, like, can't be in Yuji's control. So if we get a viable explanation for why he's able to do it, then I'm down. I'm here for it. If it makes sense, if Jjk manages to explain it, I'm cool with it. I'm all good. But if it's just like a look what Yuji can do now without me understanding, I've sat there and I've been like, well, Gojo says it's clearly not just about cursed energy control. Because Yuji definitely has the cursed energy control for it. I'd say it's on par with Sukuna and Gojo, like 6 eyes level stuff. Sure. Maybe even better. But that's not all there is to Black Flash. There are things that affect it, which, I don't know, I preferred it when it was luck. And then you have to get in the zone. The fact that he just like, and it was a Black Flash, that felt, I didn't like it felt cheap. But I have no denying, regardless of how much sense it makes him strong. That's top 1 behavior. Whether I like it or not is irrelevant. Why did I start talking about Black Flash? But yeah, that's the thing, is like, those feats, that's top 1 behavior. Yuji being top 1 ain't just agenda, there's way more to it than the dismantle alone. Yeah, exactly. What else have people said? Even the explosion was caused by curses. I feel like it's obvious Jjk is narratively saying Yuji and Prime Muter's casual attacks are damn insane. I'll get onto that in a second, because that's the bit people are going to hate the most. That's the bit they're going to hate. They're not ready for it. They're not ready for it. All right. But yes, I think the power scalers and the agenda, like, if you're into your power scaling stuff, then by all means do your own thing. But just know that when I talk about the story, I like to look at it and read it and be like, what did Jjk mean by this? What was the intention here? So when people are like, oh, Jjk is like light speed because Sukuna dodged Kashimo's like light wave when it could have been an aim dodge, but they're like, this is a feat. I'm like, cool, but Jjk's intention is very clearly for the verse not to be that fast. Alright, Mark 3 statement, author notes. He clearly doesn't think, and how he's treating Dabura here is like, the intention for me is they're not that fast. In general, alright? But then, so that's the thing, if you want to do your scaling and agenda, that's calm. It's all good. But when I personally look at the series and I talk about it, it's always going to be from like a more... Bruh, listen, you better stop spamming my chat, brother, I'm going to have to time you out. What is Dabura versus Curse Technique, you think? Is Curse Technique reversal? I think it's just darkness, right? Probably. I do light, I do dark. The only thing that I'm confused about what the reversal is like whether it would change the... You know how the light is... It's a mixture of like light that's given mass by the killing intent that we get censored. Do we also reverse the killing intent part? Is it like something like that? Do you know what I mean? It's weird. It's a weird one. I don't know. Dabura's reversal could probably directly rival the 10 Shadows. What does that mean? What does that mean? I mean, he is rivaling the 10 Shadows. That's what he's fighting right now. Was dismantle curse technique reversal? No. That's just a technique. And yeah, the people who think Mahito is gonna incarnate they're crazy. Mahito is gonna incarnate and be tapped by Tsurugi. Rika Tsurugi, sure. But like, or maybe just current Tsurugi, given the end of this chapter, because it seems like he's had his awakening moment, and he's also got that SSK, you know. So it's not gonna be long now before he starts seeing the soul. Maybe he already does. Wait. I've just clocked Tsurugi doesn't wear glasses. Which means Maki must have taught him how to perceive things, right? He doesn't wear glasses. How does he see? Unless he knows how to do the... As in, like, cursed spirits he can... And Jujutsu he should be able to see with no cursed energy if he had like a proper binding, like a proper heavenly restriction. But I always kind of assumed that he's just like pre-awakening Maki right now. I always thought the ring was like holding him back in some way, giving him just a little bit of cursed energy to like hold him back. And that what we've effectively done is he's like done something with the ring now, and contact lenses. Wait, that would actually be so funny. Ah, yes, my curse detecting contact lenses. I mean, if he was just like full heavenly restriction, but for some reason hella weak, then he'd be able to see them, but I don't think it was full. Maybe, like... Yeah, I mean, I guess it's still kind of theory territory there. Yes, I was gonna say, Mahito is fodder. Like, realistically, Mahito is... Bro, he gets one tap by Yuji, he gets absolutely rinsed by Dabura. Like, even, like, realistically, if Mahito gets reduced to, like, nothing, if he gets nothinged, then I don't think the soul matters. I'm talking he is atoms. Is he maintaining the shape of his soul if he's, like, been reduced to atoms? I fucking doubt it. Oh my god, bro, this guy. Alright, you're just gone. How do I even do that? I can't even... Can I even... use it in timeout? Here, take this 10 minutes. Peace off. I gave you a warning. Listen, I gave you guys my theory early on about what's gonna... I'm in a bit more of a middle ground now because of how Yuji's moving and because of how little is left of Modulo. But I still think I know why Mahito was set up that early and why he was saying what he's saying, and I know people ain't gonna like it. And as soon as they see it happen, they're gonna go, oh my god, Jjk sucks, he fumbled the ending again. Don't be surprised if he kills Yuji, man. Don't be surprised. Yo, Quirkless! Sorry. First Tour Shinobi. That's what I should probably call you. The main factor was probably Yuji being chosen by Black Sparks, unlike Gojo. What does that mean? What does that mean? Who is this Black Sparks person? That was a joke. I don't think he's actually a dude, but that's my point. Is there isn't a dude. So that was a cool narrator statement. Yuji is 100% dying. I'm less convinced of it happening in... When we were in, like, Chapter 9, I was thinking, Yuji's gonna die in Modulo. Cool. Because obviously that's what Mahito's waiting for, and they're gonna have their final conversation. And I'm now very certain that that is exactly what Mahito is for, because he's not reappeared. Everyone was like, oh my god, Mahito's gonna, like, come back, and... Well, he's not back, and I don't think he's gonna be back in this story. However... And this is gonna suck. This is gonna really suck. I know. I want Yuji to die. For his own sake. Fuck this immortality shit. Give my goat a happy ending. But, with the way Jjk's moving with this... What is it? Who... Bro, he got on his bloody alt account, man. Right, you're just banned. Anyway. As I was saying. With the way Jjk's moving in Modulo... Alright. I at first thought it was going to be Yuji will pull up and Yuji's going to die in Modulo after, like, being the strongest. And then he's going to have a conversation with Mahito and maybe get his own little airport scene. Who knows? And I thought that would be peak. I was like, yep, sounds peak. I love it. I love the whole immortality, loneliness theory. Not theory, theme. And I love that we set up Mahito early, where he's showing the intention of waiting for Yuji to die, so that they can have a talk similar to his with Sukuna, and it can parallel the ending of OG Jjk. I was like, peak. Absolute peak. But now we've got, like, what, 5, 6... Oh my god, how many accounts have you got, bro? He'll run out eventually. What was I saying? Oh yeah, but the way Jjk is moving with Modulo, it might not happen yet. Because I feel, this might be copium, but I feel like this is the JJK 0 to JJK 2. This is not the JJK sequel, this is the warm-up. This is the test run. This is the, do you know what, Jjk? You cooked the first time. This is Shueisha saying, Jjk, you cooked. You cooked, okay? And you made us a lot of money. But we don't know whether you're a one-hit wonder or not. So we're going to give you this test run. You've got 3 volumes. Make it work. If it gets good performance, we greenlight the full JJK sequel. And guess what? He has definitely made it work, because we... Oh my Jesus Christ. How many... This is passionate. This is insanely passionate. Thank you, mods. Big up the Quirkless Shinobi. How many chapters left? If we assume the 799 volume, like, same as JJK, 7 chapters are in volume 1, 9 chapters volume 2, 9 chapters volume 3, and we're getting 3 volumes. 5 chapters left. I think. Or 6. 5 or 6, I don't know. Of Modulo. Now, do you think Yuji surpassed Sukuna? Yes, definitely. Like, yeah. Oh, I've lost my train of thought. Yeah. So this is like the JJK 0, I think. So the real JJK... Oh my god! It's like every time I start, like, I regain my train of thought, I figure out what I was trying to say, and then it gets ruined again by this one guy, bro. That's like, what, 5 accounts? How do I add a chat cooldown? What does that even do? I don't know how to do that. Whatever, we're gonna have to deal with it. So, Yuji might not die in Modulo, and Mahito might not even get explored in Modulo, if there's the intention of carrying on JJK in a proper sequel afterwards. If Jjk's setting stuff up for, like, sequel, then sure. Then sure. And I think that's likely, because, again, Shueisha were like, Jjk, we want a part 2, we're gonna do a test run. And then Jjk has also said himself there's a possibility for more JJK stuff after Modulo. So, there's hope for Yuji, there's hope for Yuji, but if there's nothing planned after this, I still think Yuji dies in Modulo, and I think people are going to be angry about it. Job applications for him. Alright, cool. So, those are like 2 of the things that I wanted to talk about. Now for the big one. Trying to think how best to... Do you think Yuta was the strongest before he died? Right, so this is kind of... Again, this is where I say what I genuinely think, and then everyone goes, you have an agenda! TCB translations helped a lot with this. The second slash. Alright? Shut up, Orion. Look at this Orion guy, bro. Honestly. Fake content creator. Oh, and Shiny. Hello. Oh man, days. Bro actually just made a new one. That's why he took so long. He was sat there setting up a new email. That's quite funny. Yeah. People are debating what the 2 different explosions are caused by. One of them, at least, is obviously Yuji. There's no doubt about that. I don't think Dabura is the other. I did say that initially, before we got, like, translations. I've changed my mind. I don't think it's Dabura at all. I think it's just the two, like, different waves of cursed spirits. Now, people also think it's Yuji, which doesn't... I don't know how he's... Unless it's the same slash and it's going sideways. Like, I don't know how he's done 2 in those... Because, like, we're not quite comprehending the actual distance between these two places. Like, that's how I know it's not Dabura, is because Yuji is, like, borderline within... I think the narrator even says something about, like, within view of the fight. He's there. He's there. He's by the Dabura Maharaga fight, right? The other explosion comes from, like, really far away, and there's only one party at the moment in the story that is really far away, and that's Tsurugi and Maru. Because Yuka got on a plane and left, right? And they're back over in Narnia. So, even just because of the distance between the explosions suggests that it was on Tsurugi and Rika's side, Surika's side. Tsurugi and Maru. So, what's happened here is leaks, again, are the problem, realistically, because the translation shows that, I think it's in the bottom left of one of the pages, right after Tsurugi pulls out Soul Split Katana, right? Maru says, he looks at him and he goes, what is he aiming at? And then he looks behind him, and he sees the cursed spirits, and it's like, okay, let's do author intention instead of silly stuff. Maru sees Tsurugi, and he goes, doesn't look like Tsurugi is aiming for me. He's aiming for something else. Turns behind him, sees cursed spirits, right? And then we see the close-up of what these cursed spirits look like, okay? And then we get a side-by-side... Listen, I'll show you this one, because I colored it earlier, so it hopefully won't get me copyrighted. It doesn't show the speed lines, but it's fine. Pull that up. Oh, whatever. I'll just show it on here without turning the cam on. Alright. You got Yuji doing dismantle, and you've got... I've replaced the background, but it's like you can kind of see speed line stuff, right? And you can see it on the blade as well. Motion lines on Tsurugi. This paneling right here, alright? I think, after saying something like that, is very, very obviously just meant to be, like, Tsurugi does one, and Yuji does one. The distance adds up, the paneling adds up, the statements, like what the characters say, adds up. And this is where I was saying, okay, so it's a two-sided thing, alright? Everyone looked and they were like, oh my god, look at what Yuji did. And then it's like, okay, well, very clearly it was Tsurugi and Rika that did like a slash. And they're like, people saying, oh, how did they manage to do that? They didn't make contact. Right, first of all, it's not the first time we've seen this. Yuta literally does like a Zoro-style sword slash in Sendai Colony. He does like a big slash and it does a wave of cursed energy and takes out a load of Kurorushi's like cockroach curses flying in the air. This is something that Yuta's power, at least, can do. This is not new. This is not like there's not anything strange. It's just on a much bigger scale. Now, but yeah, it's Tsurugi slash Rika and Yuji. Those are the two explosions. And on the page, they're pretty similar. Actually, pretty much just exactly the same. But obviously, Twitter was like, hey, look at what Yuji did. And then I was like, hey, look, Rika's power did this. And they were like, no, fuck off. You're ruining it. I was like, okay, cool. And then they started saying, yeah, but this is like years and years and years of like, you know, cursed energy and power being stored up in the ring for this one all-out attack by Rika. And then this is just casual dismantle from Yuji. And I was like, okay, maybe. We haven't got proper translations yet. Read the translations. What does Rika say? Hey, Tsurugi, you swing the sword, I'll put the power, I'll decide the damage. That's what she says. In the TCB it says, I'll decide the damage. Or I'll put the power behind it, I'll decide the damage. Nowhere in there does it say that Rika just, like, went... Why has Siri been summoned? I said Tsurugi. Sorry. Nowhere does it say that Rika did this all-out attack using, like... It was just Rika's power. And Rika just decided to do that much damage. The same way Yuji decided to do that much. Right? Also, this whole, like, it's years and years of, like, stored up energy all released. No, it's just Rika doing the blast. Also, this is silly logic. Right? Since JJK 0, the way, like, Yuta is taught to, like, imbue, like, it was, at the time it was a curse, but the principle is the same. Imbue his cursed energy into his sword in 0, and then in JJK, as we found out in the previous chapter, he imbued cursed energy into the ring, right, to make its power stronger, I suppose, for, like, decades. This isn't him Now it's probably stored up. It's probably stored up now because Yuta's dead and doesn't put cursed energy into it anymore. But at the time of him having it, right, so let's say he's 40, 50 years old, right? At the time of him having it, it's not like a limited storage. He's just doing what a normal sorcerer... He just imbues more cursed energy in every time, and it builds and builds and builds to this, like, unbelievable amount. And if he uses it, like, uses some of it, it's not like it has a limited supply. Cursed energy for him replenishes, so he'll use the ring. It'll be insanely broken. And then, over the next however many, like, weeks, his cursed energy naturally will just replenish. And then the next time he goes into a fight, he imbues more into the ring. So for him, it's not like a limited thing. It's like he just does it bit by bit and it gets stronger over time. So by the time he's 40, 50, it's going to be broken. Right? Now, sure, it's not getting any more put into it, so it probably is a somewhat limited supply. But then again, we find out that cursed tools supposedly don't run out of cursed energy. So if it's counted as a cursed tool, there might be some kind of clause for whatever reason it doesn't run out. The point is, even if it could run out, it's like a ridiculous storage. It's like we're not seeing the end of that anytime soon. Nowhere does it say anywhere that it's like all out. This logic of, oh, this is like years and years of no, it's just Yuta got stronger over time. Yuji got stronger over time. The result is this. It's not like Yuji was like shit, and then 80 years later he was suddenly God. No, he obviously trained and got stronger with experience. He got stronger in the same way that Yuta got stronger. They both just got stronger. And they trained and put an experience. They got stronger. I don't know how else to say it. So this logic of like, Yuta had to spend years getting stronger and Yuji just decided to fucking be like this one day. No, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Yuta just gets stronger and imbues more of his power into the ring. His ring. Right? That's why, because he got stronger. The same way Yuji starts off not being that strong, and then over time he gets stronger. It's the same logic. It's the same thing. Alright? Exact same thing. And obviously, Rika's power, as we know, also confirmed by Modulo, is just Yuta's power being funneled into Rika as this sort of, like, medium, as this storage for Yuta's power. Right? It's not like Yuta, like, just one day said, oh, I'm gonna put everything in there, and then Rika's just gonna use it all at once in a big slash to take out some grade 3 cursed spirits. That's how people were moving on Twitter. They were like, because they didn't wait for translations. This is why leaks are the problem. Look at that, we have TCB. What does it say? I decide the damage. That can imply one of two things. Either that there doesn't need to be that much damage because they're grade 3 or 4 curses, or that she can add more damage, or both. Right? There's nothing at all that suggests she just used everything in that one slash to take out a grade 3 or 4 curse. Now, what is the intention behind this? What is the intention behind this by Jjk? My interpretation, genuinely, is just, look, Yuta's dead. He's fucking dead. And we're not Edo Tenseiing Yuta. Alright? But you know why I love that panel? I love that panel of, like, the two explosions next to each other. Do you know why? It's because that is Yuji's power, and that is Yuta's power. Don't go telling me it's Tsurugi's, because it's not. That's why that dialogue is there. Alright? You just swing it as hard as you can. I'm gonna put the power behind it. Rika says, I'm gonna put the power behind it. And Rika's power is Yuta's power. Which means when you see those two insane explosions next to each other, it's this really cool moment of look at what Gojo's two goats did. Look at what they've done. They both surpassed their teachers. It's the Yuta power and the Yuji power next to each other on the same page, and I think that's sick. I think it's dope. But nah, what did Twitter and Agenda do? They went, look at what Yuji did, it's great. There's absolute complete evidence for that being Yuta's power, but we're gonna fucking ignore it and just deny it exists. Because of Agenda. And then people go around and they say, oh, Jjk is terrible writing, and fans don't read the series, and JJK sucks, and it has no themes and no writing and no nothing, and it's all aura and fights. Do you know why? It's because they do this. It's because they read it, and they choose what they want to see, and ignore what Jjk is trying to show us. Which is, again, if you want to look at it that way, that's fine. That's up to you. But when I voice my opinion about this is how I interpret it, the way I think it's meant to be interpreted, people go, nah, shut up, you're wrong. Alright, I'm not telling you, like, you think what you want. But let me think what I want. I think the intention is very clear. Yuta's full power versus Yuji's casual power. That's the kind of things they'll be saying. That doesn't make any sense. Because what does that mean? What does that mean? Yuta's full power. What do you mean Yuta's full power? What does it mean? What does it mean? He's not even using a technique. It's just cursed energy. Yuji Shrine curse technique. Like, I can do this. I'm not going to like actually use it as a thing, but I could do the same thing right back at you. I could say Yuji uses a cursed technique, dismantle, to do that, and Rika just uses cursed energy to do the same thing. I'm not gonna do that because it's fucking stupid logic, and so is the like what is the Yuta? I will say anything in order to glaze Yuji. That's what I mean. Like, I know Shiny's taking the piss, but still. Look, Yuta's years of putting cursed energy on the ring versus Yuji yawning and doing a normal dismantle. What does that mean? What does that mean? You think Yuji woke up this morning and he was just Gojo Sukuna level? No, they both just got stronger. Right? And this is the result of them both getting stronger. Like, that's it. We're acting like it's Yuta's ring. That's his power. It's not like he, like, never used it again, ever, and just kept on just putting it in there and just made it... That's his power that he has, that he's putting in the ring and using in his lifetime. I don't understand the logic of, like... And also, they're not using... She didn't use all of the cursed energy in the ring, surely. Like, do we really think it took decades and decades and decades of Yuta cursed energy to take out some grade 3s? Do we think Rika's dead and gone forever? Is that Rika's ending? Maybe. Maybe it's part of the binding vow thing with Tsurugi. So, like, give him full heavenly restriction or something. I don't know. But, like, people acting like it's Yuta going, like, dedicating his whole life for this one thing, and Yuji just, like, going like that, as if they didn't both train to actually get this power and grow and get stronger. It's silly agenda logic. I don't know. It's reading comprehensionless. It's biased agenda, and this is why people, they'll read the ending, and if Yuji dies, they'll read it and they'll go, "Oh my god, Jjk fumbled again, and there's no writing in JJK, and it sucks." And it's like, okay, if you're not gonna read it, like, and you're gonna just cloud your judgment with agenda and shit, then duh, no shit you don't like it. Go read fucking, I don't know, Solo Leveling. Do you know what I mean? Go read Boruto. It isn't even implied she used all her energy. Exactly. Do you know, I know why it is, because it's because of the original translations from the leaks, which again is an example of why people read the leaks and they make up their minds about things immediately as soon as they see them, and they have no flexibility, and that's it. That's it. They've made up their minds, and that becomes the thing. That is why there is this famous saying that Jujutsu Kaisen fans cannot fucking read. That is why. That is why we are known for this. It's because people read it through leaks that are incorrect translations, interpret it wrong, make up their mind because of agenda, and then don't budge, and it creates a fandom and community of like... And again, if that's how you genuinely enjoy consuming the series and how you want to consume it, that's up to you. I'm not going to sit there and tell you you're wrong for thinking that, because it's all subjective. It's a story. You interpret it how you want, right? Anyone's favorite character can be the strongest if that's what they genuinely believe. That's up to you, right? But it's when those people who do that then try and, like, they speak factually, like it's not a matter of interpretation. It's like, no, the way I see it, which is incredibly biased and agenda-ridden, is the way everyone should see it. And then they get defensive and, like, angry when other people don't agree with them. And it's like, okay, I'm not trying to get you to agree with me. For some reason, you're pissed off I don't agree with you, even though I look at your take and I think it's absolute poop because you didn't read the series. That's what people used to tell me. Do you remember when I said Yuta would come back to the fight with Six Eyes Limitless? That's what... And even the Maharaga thing, when I said Yuka will summon Maharaga. People read that, like, they watched my videos on it, especially the Yuta thing. They watched my videos on it, and they were like, you are full of agenda, you have no reading comprehension, it makes no sense. And I was like, no, it's not agenda. It's, I've read the series, and the conclusion I've come to, based on how I think Jjk is intent, like the message he's trying to give us, the way it's written, I think this, me liking Yuta has nothing to do with, well, it does a bit in that I looked into the character because I liked him, but the conclusion I came to had nothing to do with the fact that I like Yuta. It came to do with the fact that that's what I read and interpreted. And they were like, you're fucking crazy, you're full of it, you're full of agenda. What happened? Yuta pulled up in Gojo's body with 6 Eyes Limitless. Wow! And then everyone was like, oh my god, it's shit, what a terrible decision. Don't get me wrong, the conclusion to that was horrific, it was fumbled to high heaven. But the fact that it happened is amazing. It's peak. If it was executed properly and concluded properly, it would have been one of the best things Jjk did. Chapter 261 is one of the best in the whole manga. But people hated it because they only think with power scale in mind. They didn't realize that the evidence for it happening was right there in the story the whole time. All you have to do is read it and think about it for a second, and you'll see, oh, it's there. Same with the Maharaga thing. I was like, well, obviously she's got the 10 shadows. We've seen her, like, with Shikigami, like, do the, like, claw thing. We saw, like, a frog. There was, like, foreshadowing. You just do the bloodline. It makes sense. Why has she been... It makes sense. She's gonna summon Maharaga on Dabura. It was so, like... You didn't have to jump through many hoops to reach that conclusion. But again, people called me crazy. They were like, you're insane, agenda, biased, all of that. What happened? She summoned Maharaga. Do you know why? Because Jjk doesn't give a fuck about your agenda or your power scaling. He wants to write his story. If you're not going to read it, like... If you're not going to read it at all, then, again, do it how you like, think to yourself what you want. That's completely fine. But don't not read it and then go telling other people, you know... Like, again, I'm mainly talking about people on Twitter who are just, like, actually just telling people to off themselves over the fact they disagree about something. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's silly. It's dumb. I don't know. But like, you literally said at the beginning of the video that even if Yuta was not above Gojo, you would headcanon it. At the beginning of what video? Oh, right. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the stream. Yeah, no. What I'm saying is, what I said back then, if you go and watch it, I said, even if we didn't see any evidence that Yuji and Yuta did surpass Gojo and Sukuna, you would headcanon it, or I would headcanon it. As in, like, if you don't see the evidence proving it, or implying it, or showing it, if it was just Jjk ended and it's like you're meant to make up your mind, I would in my head be like, Yuji and Yuta probably... Until Modulo came out, people were like, Yuji and Yuta probably surpassed Gojo and Sukuna, or they thought they probably didn't. That's headcanon. That's what I mean. If this didn't happen right now, I would headcanon that Yuji and Yuta are still had surpassed Gojo and Sukuna. Now, we haven't necessarily had proof that they've surpassed Gojo and Sukuna, but the intention here is we are showing, even though he's dead, and it's genius, it's very intelligent writing to be able to show this while killing off the character at the beginning of the series, or of Modulo, I mean. Showing the how, like, strong Yuji and Yuta became, and their power, side by side, on a single panel, in a big explosion, and it's dope. It's so cool to be able to look at that, and go, wow, that's sick. This is, like, narratively, makes absolute, complete sense to perfection. And it doesn't diminish Yuji's themes of loneliness in his strength, because Yuta's dead. He's dead. And he's also not immortal, that's the point, so it's really intricate and well done, to the point where you can have this thing of, yes, they both surpassed Gojo and Sukuna, and raised, and became two of the, like, probably the two strongest sorcerers to ever walk the earth, and it's amazing. When you take agenda out of it, it's really nice. Right? It's wholesome, it's sick, and it follows the themes and narrative of Jjk completely. It makes the most sense. And it really fits really nicely. And it's so genius because Yuta can kind of achieve that level of power, and Jjk's still able to show that while not invalidating Yuji's theme of loneliness, because Yuji has the immortality, whereas Yuta didn't, and because Yuta's dead. It's great. It's so well done. But nah, we're just gonna go, no, you're crazy. Obviously, Jjk's intention was to show that Yuji, you know, woke up this morning and decided to do Big Dismantle, and Yuta poured his entire life's work into this one moment right here, and that was it, and that's why Jjk thinks Yuta's a bum, and narratively, you know, he was always meant to come short of Yuji and not surpass Gojo or Sukuna, but Yuji was, and he was meant to be alone forever, and be the strongest, stronger than everyone, and be God, and then beat Goku in a 1v1. That's how people be talking about this, like Jjk intends for that to be happening in his fucking story. It's so ridiculous. Again, you want to think that? That's fine. But don't try and convince me! Don't tell me I'm, like, I'm a fucking stupid guy for reading the story and coming to the conclusions based off the intention and narrative. So yeah. My conclusion is both Yuta and Yuji surpassed Gojo, and that panel was meant to be comparing their power. And it's also that those explosions are fucking nothing burgers. There's no explosion. Neither of them take out the city. They both take out a massive horde of grade 3 to 4 curses, and it causes a big explosion of cursed spirits. It's a very impressive feat from both of them, and I think it is meant to represent them surpassing Gojo and Sukuna in a way. But in terms of when people do the actual scaling, it's like, well, look at that! They destroyed the city! No, they fucking didn't! Read it! You don't see a single building get destroyed, you see it literally fly. You see all the cursed spirits above the city, you see the dismantle fly above the city, you see the cursed spirits individually exploding, and it causes a bigger one. But no, it's big explosion. Right. That's my rant. I've covered everything I want to cover this stream, and I feel good about it. Yuta is a bum in terms of writing, lol. I mean, that's just personal preference, but his writing is some of the best in the series. Like, I know a lot of people who don't like Yuta. Even, like, Eternal Flame's a good example. He doesn't care for Yuta. He doesn't dislike Yuta. He doesn't care for Yuta at all. But there is an element of, like, Yuta has great writing. Like, really, really great themes and writing and dynamics with, like, Gojo and Yuji. But obviously, you know, there's the anti-Yuta agenda is thriving, so, you know. Right. Look at that panel, Tsurugi is still in the same position. Oh, I hate that, I've seen so many people say that. Yeah, I can see it, I have it on my other monitor. Why, like, what he does, right? So, first of all, that one bit of evidence, compared to everything else that suggests it was Tsurugi, still leads to it being suggested that it's Tsurugi. Secondly, what he does, let's assume he does destroy the curses, yeah? What he does is he destroys the curses, and then immediately goes to attack Maru, right? Yeah, that's what he does, because he runs past Maru and cuts him. Why couldn't he just do the attack and then get back in the position to then do the same to Maru? I don't know why we're treating this like it's such an impossible thing for him to have just, oh, I did that, and now I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm actually going to aim for Maru, who's currently not looking at me. Why is that an issue? Again, it's the Twitter people, because that's the argument they all threw in my face. Bruv, it's a manga. It's not an animation. You can't see the physical movement happen. Tsurugi isn't in the same place. They are upside down, then they're on the street. That supports it even more that he did move in that time. Yuji and Yuta are probably relative in terms of power, with Yuta having a slight edge due to talent up until 40 to 45. Yeah, I think, like, if you want to say, like, Yuji now versus Yuta in his prime is, like, Yuji probably stronger, but at the time of them both being alive, they were probably, like, there was a time where, like, Yuta was probably stronger for a while, and then, yeah, once they reached, like, the 40s, probably, they're probably relative. And even now, here, it's, like, again, showing that they are on the same level of power. So this whole, like, them both surpassing Gojo and Sukuna, hell yeah, I'm all for it. So putting Yuji on a pedestal far above the rest of the verse, when that's narratively not how it's really portrayed to be, I don't know. Both explosions are in the panel before Maru in the distance. It was not... Both explosions are in the panel before Maru in the distance. What does that mean? It was Tsurugi, though. Like, I'm gonna stand on that. I'm 90% sure, I think. I'm gonna stand up by it. If I'm wrong, and it becomes clear that I'm wrong, I'll happily just be like, yeah, I was wrong. Cool. But, I don't think it was Tsurugi. I'm gonna stand on that until shown otherwise, and unlike a lot of JJK fans, if Jjk says something that just outright, like, I'll just be like, yeah, I was wrong. If if Jjk makes it clear that it wasn't Tsurugi by saying like Yuji says he took them both out or something, yeah, I was wrong. Fair. But as of now, I think it's so... Tsurugi might not have slashed it, just targeted and Rika launched some stored cursed energy. Yeah, but that's what I mean. Yuta does the same thing in Sendai Colony. He swings his sword and slashes with cursed energy, and it takes out a massive horde of, like, Kurorushi cockroaches that I'll show you. Oh wait, I can't because I'll have to do the fucking... Yeah, I can't be bothered, but yeah, it's like, that's a normal thing, just, like, firing like that. True, we need to wait for the next chapter. Exactly. But that's why I was getting frustrated at the like, crazy Yuji glazers that saw the leaks. The leaks! They didn't wait for proper translations, they didn't actually deep, like, what Jjk's intention is. They saw a big explosion, and they immediately started gassing Yuji to, like, high heaven, which is bad for the Yuji agenda, because they've now gassed it too much. They've gassed it too much. It's gonna backfire. The Yuji agenda, not necessarily is going to, but it can. It can so easily backfire, and we don't want that. That's what I'm saying, we want Yuji on that level to be earned. I will say it doesn't make sense that Rika empowered Tsurugi slash, and that slash only gave Maru a shallow cut. It had to be something more. But that was after that, right? That was when Rika was fading, I'm pretty sure. So I don't think that was Rika's power. That was just Tsurugi's, I think. Because, like, he does that and the mask falls off, like, literally as soon as it's done. So I think that was, like, a... The whole point is, like, I don't think Rika did put power behind that strike. That's the thing. But why would dismantle cause an explosion? That's what I'm saying. They're treating it like dismantle caused an explosion similar to Fuga, which is obviously not what happened, and it's not... That's not how dismantle works. Because it's the cursed energy exploding. Exactly. It's the cursed spirits exploding. It's just the cursed spirits. Like, you see them individually. You see the dismantle pass through them, and the cursed spirits just explode. Like, in blood. It's like they, like, erupt. They don't explode in fire and flames. They just erupt. That's it. That's it. That's all the explosion is. It's just the massive eruption of killing that many cursed spirits. That's it. The city has literally, like, not been destroyed. At least from what we've seen. There is nothing suggesting the city got targeted in any way. There is everything suggested it went over the city. Obviously, we need more chapters to, like, definitely clarify. But bro, people just see big explosion without actually looking at the panels where you can see that it's not hitting the buildings and that the cursed spirits are above the buildings. And that's it. They think Yuji just took out Tokyo. Why? The cursed spirits weren't in Tokyo, they were above it. Why was it shallow? Again, because, like, Rika has to put the cursed energy behind it. So, like, put the power behind it. But after doing the big slash, Maru said, like, oh, the transformation's coming to an end. Which, like, we don't know why. There's lots of theories about why it came to an end. We don't know if it's, like, part of the, like, binding vow, if it was a strategy to get Tsurugi a full heavenly restriction, if it was just because it was a 5-minute timer, because he's using the ring. My guess is it's 5 minutes timer. It's worded like it's the 5-minute timer. So she does the big strike, 5-minute timer ends, and Rika doesn't put power behind the next slice, which is why it's shallow. Now, that one's a bit... I can understand that one. I think we just need to wait for answers. It's not certain, but... Yeah, it ignores durability if you can perceive the soul, which suggests that Tsurugi cannot perceive the soul yet. It's just a normal cursed energy sword. Well, it's just a normal sword if you don't see the soul. So, like, Maki, in Perfect Preparation, didn't have it as a soul split katana. She was just using it as a sword. 5-minute time? Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. Like, you know, the ring activated, Rika came out. Why would the condition be any different? It's still going to be the 5-minute timer, right? So, yeah. The slash cut buildings. Stop saying that it didn't touch buildings. Alright, show me the panel. Listen, I'm going to put my Discord in chat. Hit me up. Show me the fucking panel. Actually, no, just tell me what page it is. Just tell me a page number. What page do I see a building get destroyed? Because if you look at page... I'll tell you the page. Give me a second. If you look at page... Or the numbers aren't going to be correct because of the color spread. Including the the cover panel and the bonus panel. Look at page number 17. Look at the page with the two big explosions. You can very clearly see the slash go over the top of the building. There is not a single... We see no buildings be destroyed. There is no evidence of a building being destroyed. The explosion is caused by the cursed spirits erupting above the city. Even if you just go look at earlier on. Look at when Maru sees the cursed spirits. All of them are way above the city. So like the eruption you're seeing isn't the city. It's just like above the city. All the cursed spirits erupting. You don't see a building get destroyed. There's no evidence for buildings being destroyed. There would be no need for buildings to get destroyed, because all the cursed spirits were flying above the city. So if even if Yuji keeps up with Dabura, he's gapping the rest of the verse in speed. Yeah, if Yuji keeps up with Dabura in light speed mode, then yeah, gaps massively. But I highly doubt Yuji's just gonna be like moving like Dabura. I think Dabura's cope. Cope. Is that cope directed at me or chat? Because if it's directed at me, that's like the most nothing burger response that I get. Here's the evidence, guys. Nah, cope. Did he give me a page number of where the buildings get destroyed? I don't think he did. Nope. But actually, I'll say this though. If he did fire it at the city, it would probably do exactly what you're saying it would. It would just go through all the buildings. So to be fair, it doesn't really change much, because I think it would easily take out that many buildings anyway. But it didn't. Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. He definitely would take out the whole city in that slice. But the eruption, you can't compare it to like, oh my god, it's the equivalent of a nuclear bomb, it's big Fuga. Because it's not. That's not what the eruption is. Like, I've seen people... I've genuinely on Twitter, I've seen like, oh my god, look at Yuji nuking Japan. It's not all about, like, range. The actual power of the explosion is it's just a visual eruption of all the cursed spirits being destroyed. That doesn't mean Yuji has a nuclear bomb level attack. It's not like necessarily above Fuga and Purple because it made a load of cursed spirits die. You're right, the impact panel happened above the buildings, I was wrong. What is it with the caps lock? I think there is a level of cope with the nothing burger comment, but this is not the evidence to say otherwise. So, yeah. Yeah. I think you're agreeing. It's hard to tell with it being in caps lock, to be honest, but I think you're agreeing with me. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like... I don't know, bro, it's the leaks, innit? It's just leaks. I mean, it's leaks and agenda. But agenda's less of a problem because it's like, people will read it, the information will be available to them. It's just their... it's their own decision to interpret it and look at it that way. If they want to be a dick about it online, like crying every time someone disagrees with them, that's on them. That doesn't really affect the rest of us, unless you get, like, pissed off by that kind of thing. You agree? Okay, cool. Yeah, exactly. See, there's a sensible JJK fan right there. See? That's a non-stubborn JJK fan. Big up, Vanta Fish. But yeah, like, again, it's, like, realistically not that many people. But, like, there are just people online who are... They read the leaks, they see the pictures, they see the shit translations, they ignore everything about how it's like, you know, the actual writing. They make up their mind, it doesn't change, and then it becomes like a thing of, wait, why don't the rest of you agree with me? Fuck you all. And it's like, okay, cool. Again, think what you like. Interpret it however is best for you, however you wish to do it, that's fine. I wish leaks weren't a thing. Genuinely, that just, it's so shit. But if you take leaks out of the question, when it comes down to reading comprehension, if you've done it not as the author if you've comprehended it in the way that the author doesn't intend, then realistically, who's that hurting? It's fine. It's like, maybe you're lost, maybe you would have enjoyed it more if you didn't have the agenda brain, sure. Because a lot of those people tend to be the people who are like, you know, something goes against their agenda and then they call it shit writing and that Jjk sucks. It's gonna happen. If Yuji dies, if he dies in Modulo, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, right? I'm gonna see that Jjk fumbled the ending, shit writing, makes no sense. Even though it has been set up from, like, chapter, 9? Again, I'm a bit more on the if as opposed to when, but we'll see. But yeah, the point is, though, like, everyone should just interpret it how they like, whatever they want to do. There's nothing I can do about it, nothing you can do about it. It's a waste of time trying to argue for them to change their mind. I do believe in, like, when people ask for, like, it's okay to explain your own interpretation. That's fine. But trying to argue with people over it is pointless. It's like, you explain your interpretation, I'll explain my interpretation, albeit very passionately, but I'm never going to sit here and tell someone that they're, like, a bad person, or, like, for them to, you know, go and off themselves because they interpret it in a more agenda-minded thing rather than how I believe it's intended to be taken. It's fine. It's what it is. Like, realistically, fandom-wise, Jjk isn't that bad. It's just agenda and lack of reading comprehension, which isn't exactly a crime. It's pretty chill. It's a pretty chill problem to have, you know? As long as you're able to understand the story, what does it matter? Like, literally, you could be the only person on Earth who understands Jujutsu Kaisen. Does that change your enjoyment of it? Maybe a little bit, because it makes discussing it with, like, people you know a bit harder. But for the most part, it's fine. If other people have lack of reading comprehension, or don't get it, or have agenda, or, like, you know, One Piece is a great example of that. The agenda is ridiculous in One Piece. If they want to do that and that's how they want to do it, that's fine. Don't let that affect your enjoyment of something. If you still, after watching, if you completely disagree with everything I've said, that's chill. That's completely valid. That's fine. You do you. I don't have a problem with that at all. I'm not trying to convince you otherwise. Like, I'm just, well, I am hoping I'll convince you otherwise, but I'm not trying to, if that makes sense. Like, I don't care if you are convinced or not. It's just like, I'm just telling you my interpretation. This is how I see it, is what I think it very clearly is. And I think agenda is silly and stupid, but at the end of the day, that's what you want to do. That's how you enjoy it. Who am I to tell you otherwise? You do what you like, innit? That's why I feel like everybody, there's two sides to this. There's the agenda and the stubbornness and the like, the lack of reading comprehension people who get very defensive over it. But by the same degree, you get that behavior from the people who do understand and do read it as well. It's like, there's no need to like, fight over it, you know? Both just express your opinions, have a little conversation, keep it civil. Passionate, always passionate, as Hikari would say, alright? Always keep it passionate, but at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. I know Kaio disagrees with me. Although I think we did actually agree. I agreed with, like, pretty much every message he wrote. So maybe I lied. I think Kaio does agree, but maybe more so I agree with Kaio. Like, earlier, I was talking to someone in Discord. They didn't agree, it was Tsurugi. That's cool. We just have different opinions. You can discuss it, but, you know. But, like, Jjk, especially, Jjk and One Piece, I've noticed especially, just get, or maybe it's just anime manga fans, they get so defensive. It's like, no, you must think the same as me, what the hell? It's chill. Have a passionate conversation. I'm watching the stream back, I want to chime in and say Tsurugi can see curses if he has my level cursed energy, because Mai can see them. But he doesn't have my level cursed energy. What makes you think? Mai just had cursed energy. She had more cursed energy than a normal person. Or, I assume so, because she was a sorcerer. Maybe she didn't, but, like, he would have had, like, he would have, in theory, he should have no cursed energy, but there is something that is making it count as if he has cursed energy. For example, having Yuta's ring. And yes, good point, Todo is alive, what the fuck? That is so cool. If Yuji dies in Modulo, it'll be rushed. It can be rushed, but I think if Jjk does it well, the fact that it was in a short time won't ruin my enjoyment of it if it's good. I always believe in letting things happen first before I judge them. Again, it will be rushed in the actual event of it happening will be rushed, sure. But the actual thing of Yuji dying shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone if it happens, because then you just look back at chapter, like, 9 with Mahito, and it's like we set it up in chapter 9. If Yuji dies, Mahito would ruin that era. I don't know about that, bro. I don't know. The way listen, realistically, we've got, if Yuka lives, which I do think she'll live, I don't think Yuka will die, genuinely. If Yuka lives, if Tsurugi lives, like, Tsurugi reaches full potential, I think he's awakened now, by the way. He's just blatantly speed blitzed Maru without the help of Rika. I think Tsurugi has awakened. I think he's cast off the ring, finally, and he's free of cursed energy, and he's, like, got Soul Split Katana. All he needs to do is learn to perceive the soul, and Mahito's cooked. If Dabura lives, Mahito's cooked. Hell, I might even... Bro, if Maru and Cross live, he's low-key cooked. But Mahito's out of his depth. I don't think Tsurugi will necessarily surpass Maki and Toji. I think he'll be equal to Maki, yeah. But I feel like this is the Jjk Zero. I think we're gonna pick this up later. In a new sequel story. So, maybe not everything that's actually being set up in Modulo. Just, it's the same with Jjk. A lot of things in the ending, we were like, why are we doing this? And then Modulo comes and it's like, oh, that's why. The ending might have some things. It might leave some things. We want it to leave some things unaddressed, because that increases the probability of it being picked up. If it ties everything up together, the odds of a direct sequel are less likely. Yeah, it's the same situation with Jjk 1. How's Mahito killing Yuji but losing to everyone else? No, I didn't say he'd kill Yuji. I never said he would kill Yuji. The hell? Did I say that, or are you responding to someone else in chat? Mahito's not doing shit to Yuji. The hell? Bro, Mahito will probably die if he so much as looks at Yuji. I suspect there was a level of they wanted Tsurugi to have the ring because without it he would become like another Maki, yeah. And it makes sense for the big three clans to be scared of those people, because you remember what happened to the Zenin. I'm just saying. Oh, I don't know who's killing Yuji. I have no idea. I have no clue how it will happen if he does die. I'm just saying don't be surprised if he does die. Also, don't be surprised if Mahito doesn't come back. But at the rate he's going, I think Dabura is like... He is low-key aiming for that top 1 spot at the moment. I'm not gonna lie. Dabura's like genius and like rate of growth is genuinely unlike. It's Gojo and Sukuna have things that are like comparable, sure, but bro, I can't even glaze Yuta the same way as I thought Yuta's RCT feat was impressive, and I thought Higuruma's RCT feat was impressive. Bro, Dabura's different gravy, man. It's a different level. Light speed, insane big, massive strong ultimate move. Just the base of his technique is broken. Now think of a curse technique reversal that is double the output of his base technique. Bruv. What are we doing here? All he needs is domain. He might not even, at this point, he might not even need domain to be number 1. Honestly, he might not. But dude, if he gets domain, we're gonna have some uncomfortable conversations about the strongest people in Jjk. I'm just saying. Oh. He is a completely different level of prodigy. Like it just is, it's unreal. He worked out RCT from nothing other than feeling a weird energy from Maharaga's blade. He had no preconceived knowledge, or he didn't even know positive energy existed. He had no clue how to make it. It was never a thing on his homeworld. He didn't even know you could heal until getting to Earth. He just sensed a different kind of energy from Maharaga's blade. didn't even know if it was the energy you need to heal, and just decided to not only work out how to do it, as in like the theory, but also put it into effect on his first try in a way that let him regrow his whole leg immediately. And then immediately worked out curse technique reversal. That's a different level. I'm sorry, it's a different level. And they were saying this guy is the Modulo Kashimo, bro. Fuck off. Kashimo fucking wishes. Which characters do I think will end up dead by the end of Modulo? I don't know. I think the only character that I really genuinely believe won't be dead by the end of Modulo is Yuka. But I could be completely wrong on that. I'm not going to put too much stock in it, because who knows, but like, I think Yuka will live. And again, I think if we're wrapping up this series in Modulo with no intention of continuing it with another series, then Yuji as well, I think. And maybe Dabura, to be honest. Who knows? Bro, think about the amount of times Kashimo would have seen Domain. Like, he saw Domain and he saw RCT, and he still didn't have it. Get Kashimo out of these talks, man. That guy was a technique merchant. And even then, it only got him to, like, a certain level before he's still getting diffed by people. Kashimo ain't got no talent for this shit, bro. Oh. That is all Dab. Bro, think about it. Dabura has done this without hitting a Black Flash. His control of cursed energy is already this good without having hit one. But yeah. Madness. Realistically, my ramblings, whether I make a video or a stream, it's irrelevant. Realistically, I think the damage is done. The agenda is normal for JJK. That damage is always going to get done. But I think it's really, really amplified by the leaks. And the way that people still just read the leaks. They see the pages. They focus on the ones that look cool to them, while ignoring the ones that disprove what they're chatting about. And they take the shitty translations, and then they make up their minds, and they're stubborn. And that's how we end up in the situation we're in, so I think leaks do the most of the damage. Leaks are just the problem, realistically. That's why, like, even when I do my reviews now, because, especially as a content creator, I'm not avoiding leaks for the life. It's impossible. Right? So many creators... Dynamic Weeb, like, I think Daffy's managed to last until literally today. They all were like, we're not touching leaks, we're not reading them, we're gonna wait for the officials. And now they all read TCB, at least. Because it's impossible not to, especially if you're a creator, the platforms that your job is literally on, is filled with leaks. So if you don't want it spoiled for you, I don't want it spoiled for me, so I just have to, I just read them. I just read that shit. And then I have to start my reviews. I put no spoilers in the title or thumbnail when I do my reviews. Because I'm thinking we should at least try and move past that. The era of old JJK, where we just put that shit on YouTube because it was happening. I'm pretty sure Manganamist and No-Op also... I'm pretty sure they don't put any spoilers in their review thumbnails or titles. And then every video, even though people know what they're clicking on, I'm like, listen... Dogshit translations, these are leaks. These are just my takes. Everything's subject to change. Pinch of salt. No, handful of salt. Always. But even then, bro, it's just leaks, innit? I just choked on a hula hoop. Ow. Oh, I've had a sore throat all week as well. I've literally had, like, COVID or tonsillitis, bro. I've just recovered. That really fucking hurt. Shit. Ow. Right. Jesus Christ. I've made my point. I am starving and I need to drink before my throat decides to just disintegrate. I'm gonna end up looking like Nobuaki and Chojuro from last week's episode. Ugh. Yeah. It was a fun chat. We'll do this more. I've been wanting to stream more. We'll do this more. I think we'll do this for every chapter from now on. Which is like 5, but whatever. Alright. Thank you guys for popping in. Let me actually pull up my thing so I can actually stop the stream. 1 second. Yeah. Alright. I'm surprised we got this many people on. It's like kind of similar to a Kagurabachi stream. Cool. Thanks for popping in, chat. Are we all good? Anything anyone wants me to see before? Seems like everyone's chill. Alright.